I made it to the railroad track. Got it on the lift here. I've never even taken the wheels off this thing before. How's that sound to you?
That sounds very good.
You know, it's fine. That's fine. And yes, I will be using a chrome socket. Oops. Okay, so I've actually skipped a few steps. I've actually brought in my parts four-wheeler from the house and ripped the rear ends out of both of them. I just skipped all the boring crap because literally all it is holds it in. The shaft, these sway bars, and the shocks. And then you have to unhook the rear brake, obviously, with the breather line. And you have to do the same thing on the Arctic Cat. But the difference is on the Arctic Cat is the rear brake is a disc brake, so it's got hydraulic. But I want to keep the drum brake on Swamp Suzuki. I've got both the rear ends up here. So this one's the Arctic Cat, this one's a Suzuki. The Arctic Cat has a longer wheelbase, but the actual pumpkin is the same right here. And I don't even know what year that one is, but basically what's important is these rear ends are the same except for this collar right here. So this is the Arctic Cat collar, and this one's the Suzuki collar. So you can see, if you put it up right here, I still got the skid plate on it, but it's actually quite a bit longer. And it's a different style on the end. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to use this rear end with this collar because the Suzuki collar is actually destroyed. You can see when it fell apart that there's actually a bearing just sort of wedged in there from when I was riding it, from whenever. I have no clue how long that's been in there, but it's been a long time. And there's also some shrapnel and crap in there. It's actually just completely destroyed the seal race right here. And then the inside bearing race is probably damaged as well. Let's see, there's still bearings wedged in there too. So I really don't want to use that, but this one still is pretty smooth. What I'm going to do is take the longer sway bars out of the Arctic Cat and put it in this one. This will actually work because the width of these sway bars is the same as the Arctic Cat. I'm seeing if I can reuse the Suzuki axles into the Arctic Cat rear diff, and then that way I can use the drum brake and also still hook up the sway bar brackets because they're the same width as the Arctic Cat. That way I can still use my Suzuki shocks and also have the wheelbase the same width. The only difference is the rear wheels are going to come out 2 more inches. Not exactly sure how it's going to sit, but I think it'll line up. So it took me another 3 hours or so, but I already tested it. I went outside, did not make no noise. I'll put the Arctic Cat rear end in here with the Arctic Cat sway links. Fits right up in there. Only thing is, like I thought, the rear tires stick out 2 inches farther than where they used to be, but that's okay. I didn't have to pay anything for it except for when I got my parts four-wheeler. No new parts. I used some black RTV on the original gaskets in there, and some as well in that link up there. But it all went together great. I ripped it around, went full speed, slow. Sounds good. Again, here's the old diff. I would have had to get a new one of these, and I doubt I would be able to find another one of these because the Quad Runner 500 just in itself is a pretty hard quad to come by. Parts are kind of difficult to get as well. If you happen to have the same issue as me, just know if you have another parts Arctic Cat 500 or something of the sort, for a very long time Suzuki made Arctic Cat's engines and drivetrain, so you can do something like I did, throw the pumpkin in this one and reuse the Suzuki axles and bolt right up to it. Obviously it's the same gear ratio, so it works good.